When it comes to their mother, Prince Harry clearly doesn't mess around. He is speaking out against the BBC and Martin Bashir after an official investigation. It has been almost 3 decades after her loss, but why until now, Harry has decided to break his silence? What truths has he uncovered, and what does it mean for the royal family? Join us as we embark on this journey, a journey that will uncover the hidden truths of one of the world's most famous and controversial families. The life of Diana, Princess of Wales, was anything but ordinary. Born into aristocracy, she became a global icon, cherished for her kindness and compassion. Yet, behind the fairy tale facade of royal life, lay a story of pain, betrayal, and immense personal struggle. Diana's journey from a young girl with dreams of love and happiness to a woman torn apart by the very institution that promised her a happily ever after is a tale that still resonates today. But now, Prince Harry finally breaks his silence. An investigation from retired Judge Lord Dyson found that interviewer Martin Bashir faked documents to obtain his interview with Diana, and that he acted in a deceitful way. If you're unfamiliar with the famous 1995 interview, Diana made some shocking revelations at the time about the inner workings of royal life and her relationships with other members of the royal family, including her husband at the time, Prince Charles. However, Princess Diana's life was hell after marrying Prince Charles. When Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer first announced their engagement, they truly seemed like a fairy tale couple. He was the handsome prince, she was the perfect bachelorette, and everyone thought they were headed for a life of happiness. But in reality, Diana's life became hell once she married Charles. Before her death in 1997, Diana recorded several secret tapes, is said to have authorized a book, and filmed an interview, all which revealed the problems plaguing her life and marriage. Fueled by Charles's undying love for Camilla Parker Bowles, Diana suffered from an eating disorder and depression inside the walls of the palace. She even recalled throwing herself down the stairs while she was pregnant to get her husband's attention. Back to the interview, this is also the same one where Diana famously said that there were 3 of us in the marriage, referring to Charles's future wife, Camilla Parker Bowles. Prince Harry breaks his silence after an official inquiry determined Bashir used deceitful methods to secure his controversial interview with Princess Diana in 1995. In a statement about the inquiry, the Duke of Sussex, 36, stated that the ripple effect of a culture of exploitation and unethical practices had ultimately taken his mother's life. He noted that the inquiry had concluded Bashir, 58, had breached the BBC's editorial guidelines by creating 2 false bank statements to improperly manipulate Diana into giving the interview. He expressed gratitude to those who had taken some form of accountability, acknowledging it as the first step towards justice and truth. However, he conveyed deep concern that practices like these, and even worse, remained widespread today. He emphasized that the issue was bigger than one outlet, one network, or one publication, both then and now. He also remarked that his mother had lost her life because of these issues, and that nothing had changed. He asserted that by protecting her legacy, they would protect everyone and uphold the dignity with which she had lived her life, urging to remember who she was and what she stood for. Diana's interview, during which she famously claimed there were 3 of us in her marriage to Prince Charles, swiftly led to an order from Queen Elizabeth that Diana and Charles should divorce. They had separated in 1992 and officially divorced in 1996. Then, Diana passed away at age 36, following a car crash in Paris in August 1997. In the years following the tragic loss of Princess Diana, Prince Harry has once again been at the center of intense public scrutiny. From the beginning, Harry's life was marked by the shadow of his mother's untimely passing, and as he grew older, the weight of this legacy became increasingly apparent. For many years, Harry remained largely silent on the subject, rarely discussing the profound impact that Diana's loss had on him. However, in recent years, particularly since his marriage to Meghan Markle, Harry has begun to speak more openly about his experiences, breaking the long-held silence that had surrounded his mother's legacy and his own struggles within the royal family. Harry's decision to break his silence has been both revelatory and contentious. In a series of interviews, documentaries, and his memoir Spare, Harry has provided the world with a deeply personal account of his life, shedding light on the private pain he has endured. His revelations have not only provided insight into his own experiences, but have also reignited public interest in the life and loss of Princess Diana. Through his words, Harry has brought to the forefront issues that had long been whispered about but rarely addressed openly. Issues such as mental health, the toxic relationship between the royal family and the media, and the often stifling expectations placed on members of the monarchy. One of the most significant aspects of Harry's revelations has been his candid discussion of the mental health struggles he has faced. He has spoken openly about the depression and anxiety that plagued him for years following his mother's loss, exacerbated by the relentless scrutiny of the media. In spare and various interviews, Harry describes how he often felt trapped by his royal duties and the public's expectations, leading him to question his place within the royal family. This sense of entrapment, coupled with his deep-seated grief, led to a period of profound personal turmoil. However, it was his relationship with Meghan that ultimately gave him the strength to confront these issues head-on and seek a life outside the constraints of royal tradition. Harry's decision to speak out has not come without consequences. His revelations have significantly strained his relationships with other members of the royal family, particularly with his brother, Prince William, and his father, King Charles III. The tension between Harry and his family has been palpable, particularly in the wake of his and Meghan's decision to step back from their royal duties, a move that has been dubbed Megxit by the British press. The couple's relocation to the United States and their subsequent interviews, including the explosive conversation with Oprah Winfrey, have only deepened the rift. In his accounts, Harry has been particularly critical of what he perceives as the royal family's failure to support him and Meghan in the face of intense media harassment. He has accused certain members of the family of being complicit in leaking negative stories to the press, a practice that he believes contributed to the toxic environment they sought to escape. Harry has also spoken about the emotional toll that living under the constant gaze of the public took on both him and Meghan, leading to their decision to prioritize their mental health and the well-being of their young family over their royal obligations. The rift between Harry and his family has also been exacerbated by his accusations of racism within the royal family. In the Oprah interview, Harry and Meghan revealed that there were concerns within the family about the skin color of their then-unborn child, Archie. This revelation sparked widespread controversy and debate, further straining the relationship between Harry and the rest of the royal family. For Harry, these experiences have underscored the need to speak out, not just for his own sake, but to challenge the broader systemic issues that he believes are deeply entrenched within the institution of the monarchy. Despite the challenges and criticism he has faced, Harry's decision to break his silence has also allowed him to continue his mother's legacy in meaningful ways. Like Diana, Harry has become a vocal advocate for mental health, using his platform to raise awareness and promote open conversations about mental health issues. His work with initiatives like Heads Together, which he co-founded with William and Kate, and his participation in the Apple TV Plus series The Me You Can't See, have highlighted the importance of mental health support and have encouraged others to seek help. Harry's dedication to humanitarian work is another clear reflection of Diana's influence. He has continued to champion causes close to his heart, such as veterans' welfare through the Invictus Games, an international sporting event for wounded service members that he founded in 2014. Additionally, Harry's work in environmental conservation, particularly in Africa, where he is focused on protecting endangered species and promoting sustainable development, echoes Diana's own commitment to charitable work and her deep connection to the continent. However, Harry's efforts to carry on his mother's legacy have not been without controversy. Critics have accused him of capitalizing on his royal connections, while simultaneously rejecting the responsibilities that come with them. Some argue that Harry's public criticism of the royal family is damaging to the institution and undermines the very legacy he claims to be honoring. Nevertheless, for Harry, his actions are motivated by a desire to protect his family and to create a life that aligns with his values, much like Diana sought to do in her later years. Harry's decision to speak out has also raised broader questions about the future of the royal family and its place in modern society. The monarchy, an institution steeped in tradition, has been increasingly challenged by a younger generation that is more vocal about issues such as mental health, racial equality, and the pressures of public life. Harry's actions have forced the royal family to confront these issues in a way that it has not had to before, prompting debates about the need for reform and modernization within the institution. Public perception of the royal family has been deeply affected by Harry's revelations. While some view his actions as courageous and necessary, others see them as a betrayal of royal duty. The polarization of opinion reflects a broader societal shift in attitudes towards the monarchy. As the world becomes more open and transparent, the royal family's traditional approach to privacy and discretion is increasingly at odds with the public's demand for accountability and openness. Harry's willingness to share his personal experiences and challenge the status quo has contributed to this ongoing conversation about the relevance and future of the monarchy in the 21st century. The initial reactions from other family members further underscored the seriousness of the situation. Prince Harry, despite his strained relationship with his father and brother, returned to London immediately upon hearing the news. His arrival, extensively covered by the media, hinted at a possible reconciliation within the family. The sight of Harry reuniting with his father meaningfully for the first time since the Queen's funeral offered a glimmer of hope to many royal watchers. Media coverage of the announcement was intense and far-reaching. News outlets around the world reported on King Charles's diagnosis, with a blend of somber reflection and urgent updates. Headlines like, "Royal Family in Crisis," "King Charles Diagnosed with Cancer," and "Uncertainty Looms Over the Monarchy" dominated front pages and news broadcasts. The lack of specific details about the cancer fueled speculation and concern, with medical experts and royal commentators offering their perspectives on what this could mean for the king and the future of the monarchy. In the wake of the announcement, public sentiment was overwhelmingly supportive. Social media platforms were flooded with messages of sympathy and encouragement for the royal family. Hashtags such as "Support King Charles" and "Royal Family Strong" trended on Twitter. Many people expressed their admiration for King Charles's dedication to his duties, even in the face of such a personal crisis. "The king has always been there for us. Now it's our turn to stand by him," wrote one supporter on Facebook, capturing the widespread feeling of solidarity. The revelation of King Charles's health issues also led to a wave of reflections on his contributions and legacy. Many public figures and political leaders, including then Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, publicly expressed their well-wishes and gratitude for the king's service. "King Charles has been a pillar of stability and wisdom for our nation. Our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family during this challenging time," the Prime Minister said in a statement. Amid the media frenzy and public concern, Buckingham Palace took steps to carefully manage the flow of information. Regular updates on King Charles's condition were provided, emphasizing his positive response to treatment and his continued involvement in non-public-facing duties. The palace confirmed that while the king would reduce his public engagements, he would remain actively involved in state affairs, reviewing and signing papers, and maintaining contact with key government officials. As time went on, the unity and resilience of the royal family in the face of adversity became more evident. Public appearances by Prince William, Queen Camilla, and other senior royals were characterized by a clear display of solidarity and strength. These appearances were not merely about carrying out royal duties. They were also intended to reassure the public that the monarchy remained unwavering despite the challenges it encountered. The unexpected planning for the coronation. In the chronicles of royal history, few could have predicted the unexpected turn of events that would place the Prince of Wales in an unprecedented situation. At 41, Prince William, who had long been prepared for royal responsibilities but had yet to assume the throne, suddenly found himself confronted with the daunting prospect of kingship. This trial run at the monarchy was something no one, least of all William himself, had anticipated. In the United Kingdom, it takes 391 guided learning hours to become a certified Level 2 beauty therapist, while a fast-track plumbing course requires 160 hours. These essential professions follow a structured learning path with clear objectives and outcomes. But to be king? That's a role for which no amount of preparation can truly suffice. There are no official certifications, no logbook hours, no on-the-job training that can fully equip someone for the weighty responsibilities of the monarchy. It's a position one is thrust into, where the only real qualifications are the luck of birth and the ability to navigate adulthood without succumbing to the many pitfalls along the way. This is what makes the recent news about Prince William so captivating. Even though King Charles remains fully in command of his faculties and continues to manage affairs from home in his Turnbull and Asser dressing gown, It is William who is now being called upon to step into a more prominent role. Reports suggest that William is about to embark on a trial run as king, a preliminary reign that will give him a taste of the realities of the crown. As the Easter half-term break came to an end, the royal family prepared to resume their duties. Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis were set to return to school after their 3-week holiday. Nerissa and Catherine Bowes-Lyon were first cousins to Queen Elizabeth and nieces to her mother. Suffering from mental disabilities, the girls were put into homes that would care for them and were hardly ever mentioned by any members of the family. The nurses at the institution claimed that no family members came to see the girls, but the family denies this. The Spencer family still haven't forgiven the Windsors. Evidence of this was clear at the wedding between Diana's son, Prince William, and Kate Middleton. Diana's brother and a few other relatives were invited, but as far as the reports go, they chose to sit on Kate's side. Being Diana's family, they should have sat on the groom's side of the church, but appeared to want as little to do with his family as physically possible. If that doesn't scream bad blood, we don't know what does. Surely, if they are secrets, nobody would write or talk about them. The royal family are very careful who their friends are, and none of them would ever reveal anything private. It's not a secret, but it is known that the Prince and Princess of Wales used to test the loyalty of any new friend by telling them something secret. If that then appeared in the media, that friend was immediately dropped. And it is also known that, when the Queen died, they tested Harry in the same way. The body of the Queen was always going to be flown down to London, but members of the RF told Harry that the plan was for it to come down by train, so people could line the route and watch the train pass. That appeared in the press, told to the media by either Harry, the only person who had been told the story, or Meghan. That confirmed what they had already suspected. Harry and his wife could never be trusted with anything ever again. But secrets are for keeping to yourself, and definitely should not be gossiped about on a public forum. It is sure that there are many secrets we do not know about concerning members of the British royal family and other European royal families. The best way to learn about royal families is to read books about them. I have read many books about the British royal family. I don't really have an interest in other royal families of Europe, although I am sure they are interesting to those citizens who live in those countries. You can learn a lot by reading books. Right now, I am reading Revenge, Meghan, Harry, and the War Between the Windsors, by Tom Bower. It is super interesting and answers a lot of questions that people on Quora want to know the answers to. There's one story, which was featured in a documentary on Netflix a few years ago about Princess Diana, was described as not a secret, but not well known, and possibly dark. The narrator clarified that they were not a royal historian, but were sharing an as seen on TV account that might even be fake news after the fact. According to the account, Diana's boyfriend at the time of the fatal crash in Paris, Dodi Fayed, who also died in the car, was actually more of a friend, a kind of companion for when one can't be with the one you love, honey, and ends up loving the one you're with. The narrator noted that, like Diana, Dodi was extremely handsome, and the couple appeared to have great chemistry. It was revealed that Diana's true love at that time was a doctor from Pakistan, who worked at one of the hospitals where Diana regularly volunteered and did various pro bono projects. Their friendship had evolved into a romance. However, the doctor ended the relationship just before Diana and others went to Paris. He was a prominent physician, known for his exceptional surgical skills and innovative contributions to medicine. The narrator described him as a medical genius dedicated to his work, contrasting his commitment to medicine with that of a family doctor, who leads a more balanced life. The doctor realized that being with Diana would mean entering the public eye and taking on a royal role, even as an in-law of Diana. He believed that the constant media attention would distract him from his medical career and the important work he was doing. The narrator emphasized that it was not vanity, but a desire to preserve his contributions to medicine that led to the breakup. On the night of the fatal crash, Diana was reportedly in her room waiting for instructions on how to avoid the media and exit the hotel unnoticed. As she was about to leave, the phone rang. She couldn't answer it due to the urgency of avoiding the media. The call was from the doctor, who wanted to reconcile and try again. The narrator imagined that as Diana lay in the wrecked car, she might have been reflecting on the situation and thinking, and I broke up with Doctor Who. For this? The fairy tale begins. Diana's life took a dramatic turn when she first met Prince Charles in 1977. At the time, Charles was dating Diana's older sister, Sarah, and Diana was just 16 years old. Their relationship did not begin until a few years later. But when it did, it quickly became the focus of intense media attention. By 1980, Charles and Diana were dating, and their relationship was soon splashed across the headlines. Charles, under pressure to find a suitable bride, saw in Diana the perfect match. Young, beautiful, and from a respectable aristocratic family. On February 6, 1981, Charles proposed to Diana in the nursery at Windsor Castle, and she accepted. The news of their engagement was officially announced on February 24, 1981, captivating the world. The media frenzy surrounding their relationship was unprecedented, with every detail of their lives scrutinized by the public and press alike. Diana's engagement ring, a stunning 12-carat sapphire surrounded by diamonds, became an icon, symbolizing the fairy tale romance the world believed was unfolding. The royal wedding took place on July 29, 1981, at St. Paul's Cathedral in London. It was a grand affair, watched by an estimated 750 million people around the world. Diana, now 20 years old, looked every bit the princess in her ivory silk taffeta gown, complete with a 25-foot train. The streets of London were lined with well-wishers, and the ceremony was filled with pomp and pageantry. As Diana and Charles exchanged vows, she officially became the Princess of Wales, a title that would carry both great honor and immense pressure. But behind the scenes, the early years of their marriage were already showing signs of strain. While the public was enchanted by the image of a perfect royal couple, the reality was far different. Charles and Diana's vastly different personalities and interests soon began to create tension. Charles was deeply passionate about his royal duties, environmental issues, and architecture, while Diana was more focused on her charitable work and family life. Despite these challenges, Diana quickly became a beloved figure, known for her warmth, compassion, and sense of style. She took on her royal duties with grace, engaging in numerous charitable activities and public appearances, and embarked on several royal tours where her natural charm endeared her to people around the world. However, the seeds of discontent were already sown, and the cracks in their marriage would only grow wider with time. This is the backdrop against which Prince Harry's recent comments must be understood. A royal fairy tale that was, in reality, a story of emotional struggle and unmet expectations. As we move forward, we'll explore how these early years set the stage for the eventual breakdown of Diana and Charles's marriage, and how they continue to echo in Harry's life today. The strain of royal life. As the new Princess of Wales, Diana quickly captured the hearts of people around the world. Her natural charm, beauty, and genuine empathy endeared her to the public, earning her the title, the People's Princess. Diana's influence extended beyond the usual expectations of a royal consort. She became a global icon, known for her humanitarian efforts and her ability to connect with individuals from all walks of life. She championed causes that were often overlooked by the royal family, including AIDS awareness, homelessness, and the fight against landmines. Diana's willingness to engage with the marginalized and vulnerable made her a beloved figure, both in the UK and internationally. However, behind the public adulation lay a very different reality. Diana's marriage to Prince Charles was far from the fairy tale it appeared to be. The immense pressures of royal life, coupled with the constant media scrutiny, began to take a toll on Diana's mental health. She struggled with feelings of isolation and inadequacy, exacerbated by the cold and formal atmosphere of the royal household. The gap between her public persona and private reality grew wider, as did the emotional distance between her and Charles. Diana's mental health struggles became increasingly severe as she grappled with the relentless demands of her role. She experienced episodes of severe depression, and her battle with bulimia became a well-known, yet largely misunderstood part of her life. In her own words, Diana described her bulimia as a symptom of the deep unhappiness and lack of control she felt in her life. The illness became a way to cope with the overwhelming pressure and the feeling that she was constantly being watched and judged by the world. These struggles were further compounded by the lack of emotional support from within the royal family, who were ill-equipped to deal with such issues openly. Despite these personal challenges, Diana remained committed to her royal duties and to raising her two sons, Prince William and Prince Harry. She was determined to give them a childhood that was as normal and loving as possible, given their royal status. Diana broke royal protocol in many ways when it came to her sons. She insisted on being a hands-on mother, taking William and Harry on school runs, outings to amusement parks, and even bringing them along on royal tours. Diana wanted her sons to experience life outside the gilded cage of royalty, to understand the world from the perspective of ordinary people. This approach endeared her even more to the public, but it also created tension within the royal family, who were unaccustomed to such informality. Diana's loss and its aftermath. In the days following Diana's loss, the royal family faced intense public scrutiny. The initial response from the monarchy was perceived as distant and detached, which sparked widespread criticism. The Queen, who was at Balmoral with Prince William and Prince Harry, was seen as out of touch with the public's grief. This perception led to a significant backlash, with the press and public alike demanding a more visible and emotional response from the royal family. Under mounting pressure, the Queen returned to London and addressed the nation in a televised speech, acknowledging the profound loss and the public's grief. This speech, along with the royal family's participation in Diana's funeral, helped to quell some of the criticism. However, the events surrounding Diana's loss and the royal family's response to it would have lasting implications for the monarchy's relationship with the British public. Diana's funeral, held on September 6, 1997, was a moment of national and global mourning. Over 2 million people lined the streets of London, while an estimated 2.5 billion people watched the service on television worldwide. The funeral procession, which included her sons walking behind her coffin, was a poignant and heart-wrenching sight. For many, this moment symbolized the immense loss felt by Diana's family and the world. The eulogy delivered by Diana's brother, Earl Spencer, was a powerful and emotional tribute, calling out the media's role in her life and loss, and pledging to protect her sons from similar exploitation. Following the tragic loss of Princess Diana, multiple investigations were launched to determine the exact circumstances that led to the fatal car crash in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel in Paris. The initial investigation conducted by French authorities concluded that the accident was primarily caused by the driver, Henri Paul, who was found to be intoxicated at the time. The report stated that Paul lost control of the car while trying to evade paparazzi, leading to the crash that claimed the lives of Diana, Dodi Fayed, and Paul himself. The French investigation was followed by an inquest in the United Kingdom, known as Operation Paget. This investigation, conducted by the Metropolitan Police, sought to address the numerous conspiracy theories that had emerged in the wake of Diana's loss. Operation Paget's report, published in 2006, largely supported the findings of the French authorities, reaffirming that the crash was a tragic accident caused by a combination of reckless driving by Henri Paul and the relentless pursuit by paparazzi. Despite the thoroughness of these investigations, their conclusions were met with skepticism by many, including Diana's sons, Prince William and Prince Harry. Both have expressed dissatisfaction with the official findings, particularly the emphasis on Henri Paul's intoxication as the primary cause. Harry, in particular, has questioned why the paparazzi involved were not held accountable for their actions, given their role in the events leading up to the crash. He has also voiced concerns about the focus of the investigations, which, in his view, did not fully explore all possible contributing factors. Even decades after the crash, doubts about the official narrative continue to linger. For many, the idea that the loss of such a high-profile figure could be the result of a simple traffic accident seems implausible. This skepticism has fueled a myriad of conspiracy theories, ranging from suggestions that Diana was deliberately targeted by unknown forces, to claims that the British royal family or other powerful entities were involved in orchestrating her loss. One of the most persistent theories revolves around a note written by Diana herself, in which she expressed fears that she might be harmed in a car accident as part of a plot to remove her from the public eye. This note, revealed by Diana's former butler, Paul Burrell, added fuel to the fire of speculation and has been cited by conspiracy theorists as evidence that Diana's loss was not accidental. While the official investigations considered and ultimately dismissed these theories, They remain a point of contention for those who believe that the truth about Diana's loss has yet to be fully uncovered. In the years following Diana's loss, both Prince William and Prince Harry have called for greater scrutiny of the events that led to their mother's loss. They have expressed a desire to see justice done, not just for their mother, but for all those who have been affected by the reckless behavior of the paparazzi. Harry, in particular, has been vocal about his belief that the role of the media in his mother's loss has not been fully addressed. Harry's recent statements in interviews and his memoir reveal a deep-seated frustration with the way the investigation was handled. He has spoken about the emotional toll that the unresolved questions surrounding Diana's loss have had on him and his brother, and his desire to see those responsible held accountable. This desire for justice is not just about the past, but also about protecting his own family from similar dangers. Harry has made it clear that he is determined to shield his wife and children from the same media scrutiny that he believes contributed to his mother's loss. The official investigations may have concluded that Diana's loss was a tragic accident, but for many, the lingering questions and unresolved doubts have left a shadow over her legacy. The persistence of these conspiracy theories, despite the lack of concrete evidence to support them, speaks to the enduring impact of Diana's life and loss on the public consciousness. For Prince Harry, these unanswered questions are more than just historical curiosities. They are a source of ongoing pain and a driving force behind his efforts to distance himself from the royal family and the media spotlight. Next, we'll explore how Prince Harry's recent revelations have brought these issues back into the public eye. We'll consider the implications of his statements for the royal family, and what they might mean for the future of Diana's legacy. The story of Diana, Princess of Wales, may have ended in tragedy, but her influence continues to be felt, not just in the lives of her sons, but in the world at large. As we reflect on Harry's journey and his decision to break his silence, it is clear that the legacy of Princess Diana continues to loom large. Diana's life was marked by a deep compassion for others, a commitment to humanitarian causes, and a complex relationship with the royal family and the media. These same themes are evident in Harry's life, as he navigates his own path outside of the monarchy, while grappling with the public and private pressures that come with his royal lineage. Harry's revelations have not only shed light on his personal struggles, but have also reignited discussions about Diana's own experiences and the lasting impact of her life and loss. The comparisons between mother and son are inevitable, as both have sought to use their platforms to advocate for causes they believe in, often in the face of significant opposition. For Harry, continuing Diana's legacy is both a personal mission and a way to honor the memory of a mother who, despite her own challenges, remained steadfast in her love and dedication to her children. As we conclude this exploration of Prince Harry's journey and the legacy of Princess Diana, we are reminded that their stories are deeply intertwined with the history and future of the British royal family. Diana's influence continues to be felt, not only in the lives of her sons, but in the broader public's perception of the monarchy and its role in modern society. Her legacy of compassion, service, and resilience is one that Harry has embraced and sought to carry forward, even as he forges a new path for himself and his family. The story of Diana and Harry is one of love, loss, and the enduring quest for truth and justice. It is a story that resonates with millions around the world and serves as a powerful reminder of the impact that one person's life can have on the world. As Harry continues to speak out and advocate for the causes he believes in, the legacy of Diana, the people's princess, lives on, challenging us all to consider the ways in which, when it comes to their mother, Prince Harry clearly doesn't mess around. He is speaking out against the BBC and Martin Bashir after an official investigation,